Talking Reds, it's Tuesday the 13th of August. I am Andy Heaton. This is Kev Walsh.
Hello.
And we are here to give you the hot shit of the day. Woke up this morning to news from Paul Joyce. But I've got this thing with Paul Joyce, I think, where he should have his own little, his own little, not a ringtone, but his own little audio sting. Paul Joyce, bing!
It should just be announced Liverpool-wide.
Yeah. So basically, if Joyce says something, it's
true.
So Joyce's tweeted this morning that Liverpool and Roma are talking about the transfer of Dejan Lovren for a fee in the region of about 15 million quid. I'll be honest with you, Kev, it's one that surprised me a little bit because I thought, to be honest, at the start of the summer, I would have thought we needed, if we would have said we need a centre-half, can we sell one? I would have said I wouldn't mind actually bringing in extra covered centre-half. For various reasons, one being that, I wouldn't surprise me if Gomez covered for Trent over the course of the season, which leaves us one light, and you've got to look at injuries and one thing and the other. Bit of a surprise.
I think I can see why people want him to go because he's sometimes a bit of a walking disaster, isn't he? And he's at probably the pinnacle of his Liverpool career he's going to reach now. He's coming away with a European Cup and his medal in his pocket. He's played a part in last season as well. I think it's quite clear that he's not going to play much of a part if he does stay this season. But by the same token, Joel Matip was probably in a similar position this time 12 months ago and went on to be the mainstay of a defence, which was absolutely fantastic. In the end, I was one of Matip's biggest critics, and he even turned me around. It's funny with Lovren because I think this deal is a perfect example of why the Premier League have shot themselves in the foot by doing this daft thing where they close the window before our first game, but then leave it open for the rest of them. Because the money getting touted for Lovren 2-3 weeks ago was 25 to 30 million. And now because we can't sign anyone and no one in England's going to come in for him, the European clubs are just out downbidding us to 15 million. 15 million in today's game, it's not, is it? So
you can only presume it's wages they're looking to get off the bill as well. But I agree with you. Anything, the fact that this rule's coming in, the clubs voted for it. Yeah. It's not just the Premier League going, right, this is what's going to happen. The clubs, it was proposed, and the clubs, and I'd love to know if you're watching the big wigs at Liverpool whether we voted for it or not, because we're now in this daft position where we're short. Well, we might be short if he goes.
It's one of them. You can say about being short, can't you? But I suppose if everyone's fit and everything's all right, we've got plenty of cover there. We've got a few young lads to be in there. But the problem is, last season we had two big injuries to two centre halves, and we were without them for months and months and months.
You look at that Wolves game where
Keanu Hoover comes
had to come in.
Yeah, well, Keanu Hoover's a case in point, isn't he? Obviously, he's very, very young, but he looks accomplished in what he's done in pre-season. I think he's definitely got a career ahead of him, but I keep going back to what Adam Smith said a while ago. He could be at the club for another 7 years and not play a game and still come into the first team at 24, which for a centre-half is young, isn't it? So asking 17-year-old kids to make the move into the first team, listen, we've signed him for a reason. Obviously, Klopp must fancy them, so maybe that's the plan. Obviously, the other thing we could do is Fabinho to drop back in there, but then you're taking a very, very much a main cog out of a midfield that performs. It's like a finely tuned machine, isn't it? The midfield, they all seem to know exactly where each other's going to be running to, where the passing lanes are going to be, which passing lanes need to be blocked off, and a lot of that starts with Fabinho. The other thing Fabinho gives us in midfield, which could be a bonus, it'd be a negative that he's not in midfield, but a bonus at centre half, is he's got that lovely little clip ball, hasn't he, that he can do out to the wing. So that maybe from centre half could start a few attacks from a deeper line midfield.
And then drop Henderson further back.
But then that sort of, for me, that takes away from Henderson's.
No, what I'm saying is if you've got to put Fabinho with centre half, you've got.
Do you know what the other option I'd go for instead of Henderson, because I think Henderson's he's so much suited to a new role. Is have a little Wijnaldum playing in that role, and just because he's disciplined, isn't he? And he's definitely got the hustle and bustle about him, and he can pass the ball. So maybe that'd be a role for him.
And you got the young lad Vandenberg as well.
Yeah, again, he's only a baby, but highly rated, and we paid the money to get him. Not a great deal of money in the grand scheme of things, but he was very much one that everybody in Europe wanted. So maybe it's a case of, okay, well, we get rid of Lovren and we say to Hoover and Vandenberg, you sort of come in to create one other centre half. So neither of them's playing 30 games, but the two of them might play 15.
You may have noticed I'm a little greyer than what I was yesterday and the week before, and that's basically be down to the rumours doing the rounds yesterday that Alisson Becker's injury was far more severe than what what the club are claiming. But for a couple of hours, did look like
it was going to be a bad one, didn't it?
It looked like it was going to be a bad one. As it turns out, the manager's saying a few weeks. I'd be surprised if he's back before 4 to 5, to be quite honest, but it's far better than the 6 months that was originally being touted. And it just shows you how well the goalkeeper's done, that some people were so worried about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, he's gone down the other day, and it's probably a good job we got rid of Mignolet and got Adrian in. Now, regardless of what you think of them as a goalkeeper, just the fact that it wasn't Mignolet coming onto the pitch, I think give everyone a lift. Not a lift from the fact that we've lost Alisson. I think Adrian, we were discussing yesterday, weren't we, that he's got probably a similar level to Mignolet, but in different areas.
Stylistically, he's far better. He's far better suited to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I mean, the irony is, Mignolet probably be far better suited to West Ham than Adrian was, and yet Adrian's far better suited to the way we played than Simon Mignolet ever was.
It's all about the ability to play out from the back, isn't it? It's about the ability to come off your line and just be a little bit more of a calm influence, whereas Mignolet, the cop obviously felt it, the players felt it, you could tell he did.
He's got tickets on himself, and he Adrian as well, and I like that.
Well, definitely, yeah, he's no one's fool, is he? And he'll do that thing what a goalkeeper does when you make a mistake, and he'll just blame someone else, and that's the way to do it, because if you can get it out of your head and blame someone else in the heat of the moment.
The king of that, by the way.
Hey, listen, I've done that many times, but there's no point. You can't beat yourself up in a game as a goalkeeper, because if you make a mistake, it's going to be a goal. It's inevitable, so you just got to get that out, and you can deal with it after the match then.
Breaking the fourth wall a minute. It's about 2 years ago, we were playing 7-a-side, and I made a howl, and you were laughing your head off, and then 2 minutes later...
I made the howl. Yeah, that's obviously the things that happens, and obviously because we're good mates, I was giving him shit down the pitch, and he giving it straight back to me, but I think with our goalie situation, hopefully there's not too many howlers to be had, and the game's just going to miss as well. There's tough games in it, every game's in the Premier League is a tough game.
Burnley away is the one I'm looking at and going...
Burnley away, and Chelsea away jumps off the page at me, but then just after the game against Man United, do you know what I mean? I'm just, after seeing that, I'm just not worried about them at all.
Well, we'll know a lot more about that after Wednesday, won't we? The Man United-Chelsea game was a funny one, though, because I thought Chelsea actually started okay, 15-20 minutes, but both teams looked like two teams that were on the verge of capitulating, having conceded one. I still think had Chelsea gone 1 or 2 up, they could have easily won 4-0.
Well, Chelsea could have been 2-1 up at half time, and if they had to back them all day to keep hold of that lead, it was just two really poor teams with two very bad midfields, I thought, and the strikers for either team weren't great either. And I know United scored 4, which sounds mad to say, but they didn't look convincing to me.
Someone put up the 2 team sheets from the other day and then one from a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And the quality of the United side and the quality of the Chelsea side then compared to now, it's night and day.
Tevez and Rooney replaced by Lingard and Pereira or whoever it is they got up there now.
Drogba was up front for and you did that backline, that Chelsea backline, Terry, I think it was Carvalho was in there.
It's how many times have you looked at our teams when you're playing against them, or compared our teams to like the 2005 and 2007 teams, 2007 more so probably, but it's good now that you look at ours and you think, do you know what I mean? There's not a player in there you'd swap. There's no Klingons anymore. Whereas in the past, even when we've won things, there's been players you look at and think, garbage him. It looks like the club are very much going through a process of getting rid of all the dead blood. Moreno, Sturridge, even though he was a good player, obviously was coming to the end of his usefulness to us. Mignolet's gone. Looks like Lovren's going to go. I think do
you think there's like an almost a culling of the gap players?
Yeah.
So you've kind of got this thing where you've got elite players. You got like Pepe Reina, Freudian slip.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, Pepe Reina. Oh, come on, Andy Lonergan, Pepe Reina. No, I mean it turns out that Reina's been mentioned in dispatches that Liverpool did look at bringing him back, but chose Adrian. And, you know, we can dream. But no, talking about the call you've got, Alisson in goal, Van Dijk. You look at the front three. You know, and these are elite level players. And then there seems to be this commitment to bringing in the best kids as well. So kind of that gap in the middle, there's kind of almost like a thinning out.
Yeah, well, Phil Blundell of Anfield fame is he done a good little thread on Twitter yesterday if you want to have a little look up for it.
Victorian Phil.
Victorian Phil, yeah. And he was saying about how we've only got now a depth of squad which might not look massive, but what is in there is absolute quality, and it's only being supplemented with top class youngsters. So there isn't, as you say, there's no more filler, there's no more Mignolets and Morenos and players like that. You're either a top level player, which means obviously every day in training you're pushing the other players on around you, or you're a top level kid who's trying to break into the team, which again makes the sum of the parts more.
I mean, when you think about that as well, purely from a motivational point of view, if you haven't got 4 or 5 of the lads sitting around not getting a game, not so much moping, but like if you've got a smaller group of absolutely elite players who are pushing each other every day, and there's like, you know, this is my shirt, I'm going to keep it. And you haven't got like anyone just sitting around kicking the
No,
rails.
it's great for the development, isn't it, of those players and everyone else.
And you're giving the kids something to aspire to as well.
Definitely, and listen, it's a gamble, because obviously if injuries come in, we could be made look very stupid with something like that. But if we do get lucky with injuries, or maybe the sports science aspect of it more than lucky, I suppose, but if we can make that work, it could be something fantastic this year.
Briefly before we wrap up, we mentioned Andy Lonergan. What a move for him in his age, by the way.
Smashing it, fair play to him.
Fair play to him. Some comments, and it's not on the agenda, but James Milner talking this morning about the Super Cup being a real trophy, you know, and something we want to win. And look, I mean, you can kind of look at it and go, well, is this as important as a Premier League game? Well, no, probably not. But it's one for the cabinet.
It is, yeah, and it's early enough on in the season that we're not knackered, we haven't got any other issues. It's a one-off game. It's a midweek one, so it's effective. You wouldn't be moaning if it was a midweek Premier League game and then a weekend Premier League game, would you? So it's one of them where you go out there and get it done. And I think he's probably thinking it's a brilliant stuff, because he looked at how poor Chelsea were the other day and thought it shouldn't, fingers crossed, take too much to actually get out there and lift it. And listen, when we've won it in the past, it's a nice thing to look to. And because it's the season opener for the rest of Europe, it just makes everybody sit up and say, Liverpool, it wasn't just a fluke last year, they're back in the game already.
I wasn't even bothered the slightest bit about it until this morning, until I've seen all the lads with the photographs on the way to Istanbul. Are absolutely devastated now, but there we are. Just to wrap up, just quickly going to mention our book, Numero 6, is available now online to buy at the AnfieldWrap.com/shop. Edited expertly by Josh Sexton, and with contributions from all the big hitters from the Anfield Wrap, apart from me. So get it. If that's a reason to buy it, go out and get it now. That's it for today's Talk on Reds. I've been Andy, and this is Kev Walsh, up the Reds.